Hi everyone, Daphne here with Math Mastery Magic to solve another problem with you. Today we continue with polynomial long division. So today let's divide x to the fourth plus 6x minus 2 divided by x squared plus 3. This equals, I'm going to do my division sign. Okay, let me erase this and I'll do a different one because I want to show you something. So this equals, you can see this term has x to the fourth, this one has x squared, this doesn't have x cubed and x squared. So I'm going to create x cubed and x squared for this one. So I have x for this and for this, x to the fourth plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 6x minus 2. It doesn't change anything, but you will see why, you will understand why. And for this, I will do x squared plus 0x plus 3. Because if I'm having a polynomial with second degree, it means there exists a first degree polynomial in that, even though it's not showing. So now I'm going to look for what I can multiply with this to have x to the fourth, which is going to be x squared, obviously. So I have x squared times x squared is x to the fourth. X squared times, I have to use this term here to multiply through all of this. X squared times 0x is 0x cubed, 0x cubed. X squared times 3 is plus 3x squared. Now I will do my subtraction. Remember, it's always a subtraction here. Now x to the fourth, take away x to the fourth is 0. So I write nothing there. 0x cubed times minus 0x cubed is 0x cubed. I'm going to write that because I still need that. 0x squared minus 3x squared is going to be minus 3x squared. Now I'm going to bring down 6x. And I will look for a number that I will multiply this here to have 0x cubed. So that is 0 plus 0x. 0x times x squared is 0x cubed. 0x times 0x is going to give me plus 0x squared. 0x times 3 is going to give me plus 0x. The same thing, I'll do another subtraction here. Always a subtraction. 0x cubed minus 0x cubed is 0. 3x squared minus 3x squared minus 0x squared is minus 3x squared. 6x squared minus 6x minus 0x is plus 6x. I have to bring down this this minus 2 that is up here. So the next, I'm looking for a number that I can multiply with this x squared to have negative 3x squared. That is minus 3. Minus 3 times x squared is minus 3x squared. Minus 3 times 0x is plus 0x. Minus 3 times 3 is minus 9. Now I have to do another subtraction. Remember, I'm always subtracting what I had here from the new thing that I just got. So I have minus 3x squared minus 3x squared is the same as minus 3x squared plus 3x squared, which is 0x squared. So I'm not writing that down. 6x minus 0x is 6x. Minus 2 minus 9. Minus 2 plus 9 is plus 7. And we can see this is the end of this problem. And so our answer is that division, this divided by that, equals x squared minus 3. This is plus 0x minus 3. So we don't need the 0x. Plus, this should be in parentheses, plus 6x plus 7 divided by what we have here, x squared plus 3. Remember that. This is just the same as x squared plus 3. So this is the solution. But now let me show you how you can prove that your answer is right. I'm going to take this term, multiply by this, and add it to this. And all that should give me this divided by that. What did I say again? I will take this term here. I'm going to put parentheses everywhere. This term here, multiply by this. That means x squared minus 3 times x squared plus 3. This times this plus 6x plus 7. Remember, I am just neutralizing this equation. All this up here is the same as this divided by x squared plus 3, right? And this now becomes, I will open up this parenthesis. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times 3 is plus 3x squared minus 3x squared minus 9 plus 6x plus 7, all divided by x squared plus 3. And this long thing I have here is going to become, that becomes, this is x to the 4th, I'm sorry. Because this is x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. So I have x to the 4th. 3x squared minus 3x squared is 0. So this and this goes. And I have plus 6x. Negative 9 plus 7 is negative 2. Divided by x squared plus 3. So you see we have come back to the problem, to the initial problem. That means our answer is right. Okay, I will do one more. I'm going to do one more. And you can write the question, pause it, and try to do the work. So let's calculate 4x cubed minus 11x squared minus 1 divided by, because I am solving problems that always come out with a remainder, doesn't mean that all of these problems will always have a remainder. I just choose to solve those ones because I feel like they are the ones that can be more confusing. They are the ones that can be more confusing. So, okay, so let's go ahead and do this. In the same way, I'm going to write my division, and I will write here. Remember, we have x here, x minus 3, and we have 4x cubed minus 11x squared minus 1. Now I'm going to look for a number or variable that when I multiply this time, that thing times x, I will have 4x cubed. That the only thing could be 4x squared. It will be 1 power less than this and 4. So this times this becomes 4x cubed. Now, 4x cubed, 4x squared times minus 3 is going to be minus 12x squared. Then I will do the subtraction. 4x cubed minus 4x cubed is 0. Minus 11x squared minus 12x squared. That is minus 11x squared plus 12x squared. Remember, when I say minus, if I were to write it down, it's minus 11x squared minus this minus here, and there's a minus in front of 12. Minus 12x squared. Minus will become positive. Okay, so this is minus 11x squared plus 12x squared, which will give me x squared minus 1. I bring down the minus 1. And the next thing I will do is, what can I multiply by this to have? What can I multiply by this to have x squared? That will be x plus x. X times x is x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. Now you see, I did not write the x term here, which can become confusing for some people. But the next thing I do is I put the negative sign and I put my parentheses as always. So x squared minus x squared is 0. I leave that. But there is no x term here, meaning 0x. So that I have to know that in my mind, even though I didn't write it. If you wanted to write it, that would have been x squared plus 0x minus 1. But I don't want to write it. So that will become, I know that there is no x term here, means not 0x minus 3x, which will give me 3x. Minus and minus becomes positive. And then I will bring down the minus 1 still. So, and I am left with that. But there is still something I can do, because there is a number I can multiply by this x to have 3x. So that is plus 3. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. I'm going to do the same thing, the same process, repetition. 3x minus 3x is 0. Minus 1 minus 9 is minus 1 plus 9, which is 8. So you see we have a remainder here, 8. So our answer becomes that division, this right here, this divided by this, now becomes, the answer is 4x squared plus x plus 3 plus 8 divided by, this is the remainder, right? Plus 8 divided by x minus 3. So that is the answer. That is the answer. I hope this is helpful. Have a blessed day. And remember, if you want to be good at math, you always need to have a positive attitude. Sometimes you might be solving and you're not getting the answer. Don't force, just be patient. You have to try over and over and you will finally get the answer. Patience is the key. Thank you again. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Have a good day.